independent journalism looks like.
Smash that like for the MG Show! Subscribe now! Ring that bell, let's go! Smash that like for the MG Show! Yeah! Let's
go! What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go, one we go all. Fight, fight, fight, and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are and whenever you're listening to this live show, anytime, 24/7. Go to rumble.com/MG Show or any of your podcast platforms or YouTube. Shady Groove, welcome to the show. I hope you had a great 4th of July. I know I did.
I had an amazing Independence Day, sir. That is exactly what I did. And man, I'm telling you what, 250 years never felt so good. It's never felt so good until the next 250 years happens. We're not going to be around for that, but isn't it amazing that we are around for the moment where we make sure that they are around in 250 years from now? Because let me tell you right here today, ladies and gentlemen, if you have been told by somebody somewhere at some point that America is going to go away, or that America is should be passed on to the dustbin of history, or that the Constitution is irrelevant, or that people's rights doesn't matter, any of those number of things that Democrats have been selling you for the last, 50 years or so, well, guess what? They're wrong, and they're wrong, and they are losers, and now we can prove it, and thank you so much, because here we are, Jeff. Guess what we get to do now? Guess what? We get to fight the real enemy now, don't we?
Yeah, communism is now up front in your forefront, and President Trump's speeches on Mount Rushmore and on July 4th, Independence Day, respectively, called it out, and it was very interesting how he called it out as well. We're not going to let it happen. We're going to do something about it. Something is happening, and I was talking to Shady earlier. Q-Post 22 could be the way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you got President Trump in Washington, D.C. He released the Restore Law and Order in Washington, D.C. executive order. And they're saying that they can use that as a template across the country. Then you've got all of these people in blue states, Shady. All these people in blue states resisting the ICE enforcement and crimes and law and order, right? And they're communists. I just saw Brandon Johnson speaking about how climate change is a big, big threat, and we got floods because of climate change, and here's my DEI team fighting climate change. It's communism, guys. The Green's new scam is Nazi Germany, guys, okay? If you guys know your history, the Green New Scam came from there. So, Shady, going back to that, if you go look at Q-Post 22, Lincoln used it, right? Let's just go over it real quick because I think I'm just putting this out there. This is a theory. I don't know, Shady, but I think it's worth mentioning. Q Post 22. Who controls the National Guard? Well, you know that the states do, but in Washington, D.C., the president does. Why was the NG recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the NG work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorize what former president used military to save the republic, and what occurred exactly? Biggest drop ever to be provided on poll. Study and prepare. The masses tend to panic in such situations. No war, no civil unrest. Clean and swift.
And see, the thing about that post is so interesting is there's the only way that it could be clean and swift would be if we had it all. You see, otherwise it's going to be messy. But if you understand exactly where it is that the money is coming from and exactly who it is that's utilizing the money and exactly who is sponsoring the network and how the militant nature of the network is functioning, then you've literally got it all mapped out already. That's another Q post, Antifa mapping. The Antifa mapping is what is no different to me than Antifa mapping. To me, I hear vigilante mapping. Doesn't matter which side you're on. A vigilante is a vigilante. A person that is being set up to go fight a vigilante is the same amount of controlled as the person who is the vigilante to begin with.
Yeah. So the former president who used the military to save the republic was, in fact, Abraham Lincoln. The Civil War, 1861 to 1865. Lincoln's paramount objective was preserving the Union, the American Republic, against secession that would have dissolved it. April 1861 called up 75,000 state militia, proclaimed naval blockade of southern ports, and expanded executive powers without initial congressional authorization. Suspended habeas corpus, detaining suspects of Confederate sympathizers without immediate trial. Defied Chief Justice Taney, ruling that only Congress could do so. Directed overall Union strategy, Anaconda Plan, blockade plus Mississippi control plus Virginia pressure. Replaced generals and prosecuted total war effort, leading to approximate surrender to April 16, 1865. Issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1, 1863 as war measure, supported the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery. The result was a preserved one indivisible nation, prevented permanent division, and staged for reconstruction. Critics called him a tyrant. History credits him with saving the republic from existential fracture. Primary sources of the Lincoln Papers confirm Union preservation as core driver over slavery alone. But it's interesting that, we've got a similar kind of situation now, Shady Groove.
Okay. So yeah, so right there, so much that you've kind of just like went through. There's so many correlations. There's so many correlations between Lincoln and right now in the moment of like the Emancipation Proclamation, the freeing of the slaves, and the moment right now of the sending the slaves back to their home country. It's just a very, very similar thing that we're watching happen. And, they've kind of tricked us, Jeff. They've tricked us into saying this thing called blue state. And I get it. I get that there are blue states. I'm not saying there's not blue states, but what there really are blue cities that are in control of the state. Effectively here in Oregon, that's the case, yeah. and in a number of the states on the East Coast for sure, they're controlled, they're occupied. It's an occupying force. The people that are currently occupying the office that has to prosecute the criminals and utilize the law to prosecute the criminals are utilizing the law to go after the people that want the criminals prosecuted, not the criminals that are breaking the law. Therefore, you're utilizing the blackmail level to control the criminal element from the mayor/blue city position, and then you're utilizing that control to keep the people's voices shut up. What Jeff is saying is that the DC model, I think this is what you're saying, I don't want to put words in your mouth, the DC model is what you've been watching for, let's say the last 8 to 10 months. What is the model? The model is put people on the streets, put the National Guard on the streets, clean up the city, fix the monuments, fix everything that's in the city that's screwed up, and let life start to flourish and function again so that there can be a bit of a reset to normality. No civil unrest, quick and swift. That was pretty quick and swift what happened in D.C., and you didn't really see a lot of resistance to him, did you?
Yeah. No.
then the other correlation I wanted to mention was the 13th Amendment. You're talking about the 13th Amendment. Well, weren't we just talking about the 14th Amendment? What did the Supreme Court just do? They just basically bastardized the 14th Amendment and said anybody in the world that can come here and be pregnant and come here and all of a sudden that's an American. That's not what the 14th Amendment was. What the 14th Amendment was, it was guaranteeing that the people that belonged here, if you read Clarence Thomas's opinion on that, by the way, that was staggeringly like that might be one of the smartest human beings that's ever been on a Supreme Court, like for real. And he explained exactly how the 14th Amendment worked and exactly what it meant. It meant that you couldn't just send black people back to Africa because they belonged here. They grew up here. They've lived here. That's not the same as somebody that broke into the country and has been working illegally for some multinational corporation for the last 10 years.
That's right. That's right. So he's saying that the Restoring Law and Order in the District of Columbia, okay, that's the act that he's using, August 11th, 2025. You got that right there. You see that? Like that's what's, and they're saying that we could use this as a blueprint. Trump is saying that I won the whole country in a landslide, right? Look, all of the counties, and then you look at all the blue dots. Those are all the cities that are quote unquote blue or socialist or communist at this point, Shady Groove. I mean, it's very interesting to hear President Trump saying, we're going to do something about it. We're not going to become a communist country. We can't let that happen. And it sounds like he's got something up his sleeve.
It sounds like he's doing something about it, Jeff. Like, okay, it's like we see all these things and we've seen nothing but feckless governing our entire lives. It's all been pretend. It's all been for show so that it can look like nobody can ever get anything done. None of your problems are fixable. Your problems are more valuable to us as problems than they are as things that could go away as problems. A problem solver is very similar to a truth seeker. Okay. How many of you that are here watching the show that are, quote, truth seekers, how many of you are problem solvers in your real life? How many of you face adversity with a smile on your face and try to fix it or try to make it better? Or whenever the child has an issue, do you look at the issue that the child is having and, okay, and do you make it worse? You don't make it worse. You try to fix it. You try to fix society. We say we're trying to make a more perfect union. We're not saying we're the most perfect union and you've got to listen to us. We're saying we're trying to be a more perfect union and it's your job to act accordingly.
Yeah, it's amazing, guys. It's amazing. So real quick, I want to give a shout out to KX2. Somebody passed away. Prayers for Lois. Thank you so much. God bless her and your family. Praying for all of you. Wow. Thank you. Holly Moore, thank you for the subscription as well. But I think we might be onto something. So let's take a look at this speech on July 4th, Shady Grove. It was amazing.
Oh my God.
It was delayed. He fit it in right in between the rains. As soon as he left, it started raining again. It was amazing, guys. And the 800 and some odd thousand fireworks, Shady Grove, just insane. It lasted almost a half an hour of fireworks. It was crazy.
I think it was more. I think it was more because at one point I was like, "What time is it?" And she was like, "It's 20 minutes to 1." I'm like, "Or what?" It's 40 minutes
to 3. Oh my God!
Like, my goodness! But look at but after you saw at the very beginning of that, he was saying, "Oh, they were saying, oh, we'll just put it off and we'll do it next week." And then after you saw the presentation, did you feel like that he could have just put that off? We brought in these people that are like over 100 years old to be there, commemorate them, and the connection with these flags and this, bro, I was blown away by like when can you show us one example of any Democrat ever showing patriotism like this? No Democrat that's ever been elected has shown patriotism to this country like this.
So I'm going to show Q proof on Trump's speech. This is Trump's America's 250 speech, right? Drop 4469. President Trump honors Medal of Honor recipients and recounts Sergeant William Carney. Let's just listen to this real quick and show you that this is pesky, Shady. Very, very pesky.
It really is.
Few heroes remind us of these truths more than William Carney, who escaped slavery to become a Union soldier in the Civil War, which was a very big deal at the time. On the front lines of battle, he saw a comrade struck down by enemy fire, while carrying the Stars and Stripes, and Sergeant Carney dove to the ground to keep the flag from touching the mud. He didn't want to have it touch the ground. He didn't want to have it touch the mud. He wanted it to be perfect. He raised it high above the field and was shot 4 times. They thought he was gone, but he kept moving forward. He loved our country. He loved our flag. Before he returned to camp and announced, "Boys, the old flag never touched the ground."
Proud.
And he became the first African-American to receive the Congressional Medal of Honor. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor, and he was the first African-American, and he was some man. They've written stories about him. He was something special.
They did write stories about him. In fact, Q wrote a story about him, Shady Grove, and it's a very amazing story. You know, it basically goes about, here's this post here. Old Glory stands for freedom and equality for all. The flag was carried by Union soldiers during the Civil War in a fight to abolish slavery versus Confederate Democrats. The flag of Lincoln. It was considered a great honor to be chosen to carry the flag in battle. I mean, this is Trump's. I mean, I'm sure it's just a coincidence, Shady Grove.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because and we should take a moment here to be reverent to this moment that he just described and to this Q post and understand the correlation. This is not happenstance. This is not coincidence. This is Donald Trump as a human being, as the historian that he is. Nobody wants to really classify him as an American historian, but at this point, he's probably one of the most learned American historians alive, because nobody else will actually talk about what happened in America. This is showing you that the Donald Trump, the real live person standing there over the weekend during the 250th anniversary of our amazing country, wanted to mention this individual, not a collective group, not a hyperbolic statement about something that could possibly happen to the community one day, but this specific person whose story was told to us also during the Q drop operation way back in the later part of the 2010s, at the almost to 2020, whenever, I think it was like 2018.
This one is 6/13/2020.
2020. So this is important to Q. This is important to Q plus, so it was posted by Q. And then all of a sudden, here we are on the 250th anniversary, and Donald Trump calls this man out particularly because he wants to highlight to you the type of patriotism that you should have. This is what pisses them off. This is why they're so mad, is because what he's doing is he's literally building patriotism where none existed before. Someone hears that story, and all of a sudden, the fire starts to burn inside, doesn't it, Jeff? You start to feel a little bit of something down in here, right in your sternum, and it starts to get stronger, and you start to really think, maybe I could talk for that guy. Maybe I could say something similar. Maybe I could be an individual that loves liberty more than he does popularity. That's the distinction that we need to all make. All of us here, every single person that hears this broadcast has made this sacrifice. At some point, you have chosen patriotism over the popularity contest that lives out there. And that is exactly what Donald Trump is doing. And that is exactly why we are here in these chairs, because we know who he is. And none of these other people are going to convince us otherwise. He is an American historian, and he's a treasure. He's an American treasure.
So let me go ahead. This is 4469, Shady Grove, 6/13/2020. And let's just go ahead and finish reading it, because it's the Old Glory. Old Glory stands for freedom and equality for all. The flag was carried by the Union soldiers during the Civil War in a fight to abolish slavery versus Confederate Democrats. The flag of Lincoln, it was considered a great honor to be chosen to carry the flag in battle. The soldier was unarmed and knew they would that they would most certainly die, as most did who fought, but understood that the fight, that their lives was worth the cost, self-sacrifice. They believed in something greater than themselves. To them, the flag represented a symbol of freedom, of hope, of equality and prosperity. To disrespect the flag, to kneel, is to disrespect those people who fought and died to provide each and every one of us the rights we are afforded today. Old Glory knows not what skin color carries her, only that for which it stands. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. to free from oppression. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same, or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States when men were free. Reagan, Q. So again, Shady Grove, President Trump right here talking about this man right here, Shady Grove. Look at that. Look at that. Q proof. What do you think?
Undeniable. It's absolutely undeniable. It's undeniable. And it's also undeniable that the people like Antifa and BLM scream, defund the police. The criminals want the police defunded. Do you understand this conversation that they're having with you? They want law and order to go away. You have to fight. What that said right there, freedom doesn't pass along in the bloodstream. What that means is that like the word freedom isn't going to fight crime for you in the future. You have to stand up and speak it. You have to say law and order is not being adjudicated. You have to say that this is not proper. You have to speak it. The only way you can speak it is if you know it. So if you're like all these people that you see on Jesse Waters or all these dumb other Fox shows that they run around on the beach like young and looking good, well, guess what? They're dumb as rocks. They don't know anything about their country, and they can't speak up for anything. And when asked any question, the only thing they say is the last thing that they heard on television. That is a problem. That is a problem that Donald Trump is trying to fix by being a bully in a china shop.
In a pulpit.
I like both, but that one was like, I like the China shop idea. Like all these people have set up shop in China. Ron Paul, all you doom and gloomers out there. Alex Jones sold us a bill of bullshit 6 miles long. It was so long we couldn't even keep up with it. Where did it go? Where did World War III go? Where did the Forever War go? Where is it? I can't find it. I'm looking for it. The only thing I can see is the Golden Age.
That's right. Shady Grove, I want to play his July 4th speech, but real quick, we got this. This is awesome, Shady Grove. We got Man's Edge, guys. This supports your immune system, fat burn, muscle building, joint health. Wait, let me take my... Improves sleep, joint health, combats stress, cortisol, boosts energy and libido. We want you to try it out. Go to Neutronics Labs, NUTRONICS Labs.com/MG, and you'll get a free IGF Plus. And so you get 50% off. Labs.com/MG for 50% off. And if you auto ship, and a platinum bottle of IGF-1 completely free of charge. Plus, when you get an extra 10% when you use that code MG. So get your Man's Edge and your IGF-1 right now, Shady.
Thank you so much. And as a matter of fact, if our producer could grab real quick the episode where we talked about this in detail. If you're interested in this, we can give you some more detail on this product, a very good product that both of us are excited about.
That's right. It's really good, dude. I love it. All right, so let's go. Now that I'm all Neutronics labbed up, Shady Groove, I'm ready to go watch President Donald J. Trump.
All right, let's go. Can we go together?
Let's do it. Let's all go together, guys.
All right.
This is President Donald J. Trump. This speech is epic, guys. Here we go. So over 400,000 people, 455,000 people were there, and then they left, and 150,000 plus came back, Shady.
At midnight.
At midnight, after rain. Wow.
Good evening, America. If you think that was, it wasn't. And I want to thank everybody because they did the right thing. They saw lightning, and I said, there's no way if we have to speak in front of one person at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be here. There's no way we can be deterred. And they estimated they had 375,000 people before everybody had to leave. And they now have 150,000 people. It's the craziest thing anyone's ever seen. at least. And I want to just thank you, and I feel so badly about some people. They left it, they couldn't get back. But you're very special people, and we have a very special country. Thank you very much. Tonight we come together for one of the most joyous and glorious milestones of all time, and you know what that is, 250, the 250th anniversary. And I do have to say this. One of my very brilliant people backstage said, "Don't worry about it, sir. We can do it maybe next week." I said, "It doesn't work next week. This is the big day. We want July 4th. We're not looking for July something else. Because this is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Nothing like it. For 2.5 centuries, our American Republic has stood as the crowning achievement of human history. This country is the home of freedom. This is the land of liberty. And this is a flag that's the banner of the most extraordinary, most exceptional, most incredible nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And we're doing better now than we've ever done before. No people have done more good, shown more courage, made more progress, righted more injustice, or achieved more greatness than you, the American people. For 250 years, the United States of America has been the hope, the promise, the light, and the glory among all of the nations of the world. All over the world, they try and be like us. Nobody can be like us, and with God's help, we will always be this or even better. We're going to be better. Here on our National Mall, we're celebrating freedom's triumph over tyranny, liberty's conquest over oppression, and the enduring victory of the American spirit from the July 4th, 1776 to July 4th, 2026. Big dates. That's big dates. Two big ones. And tonight our country is stronger, freer, richer, safer, and prouder than ever before. But it all started with the miracle of history that lives forever in the heart of every single patriot. In Philadelphia, our founding fathers summoned the courage of giants and the wisdom of centuries to boldly proclaim these timeless truths. They declared that all men are created equal, that they are endowed with sacred, unalienable rights by the hand of our Creator, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In signing their names to the roster of freedom, those 56 patriots put everything at risk, stepped onto the stage of destiny, and seized a victory for the ages. And that's what it was. And this is an evening for the ages, I believe. This is something very special. This is bigger than if we didn't have the lightning blaring. We had lightning blaring, but this is bigger. Little more inconvenient, but it's bigger. I think in its own way, it's more beautiful. From the beginning, we were a nation that lived by the motto, victory or death, and live free or die. 1 out of every 100 Americans gave their lives in the fight for independence. To remind us of who these heroes were and what they gave us, we are honored to have here tonight in the heart of our nation's capital one of the very first American flags ever to exist. Dating back to 1777, it bears the 13 stars and 13 stripes of the 13 states that declared independence on the 4th of July. There it is. This was the flag that flew victorious at Saratoga. And these are the real deals, too. These are the real flags. These are flags that have seen a lot. These were the stars and stripes that flew triumphant when the British waved the white flag of surrender at Yorktown. That was a big surrender. Nobody thought that was possible. They were the greatest power of the world, and they surrendered, and that was the beginning. Ever since, the entire world has been on notice that Americans will never let anyone take our freedom away. Won't happen. And all these talks from the communists, they haven't got a chance. Not even a chance. We don't want communists in our country. Never worked, and it never will work. Americans must never forget that we are a historic and heroic people with a heroic spirit and a heroic purpose on this beautiful earth of ours. We are made the courage and the fire and the flesh and the blood of the best and the bravest people this world has ever produced. We are the bravest and the best. Tonight we pledge allegiance to the flag they gave us, and we say, God bless the immortal patriots of 1776, and long live the cause of independence. May it reign forever and ever and ever. We will always be on top. We will never let our country fall. We will always be the best. Our founders not only won our liberty, they secured it with the most righteous political document ever conceived. It's called the Constitution of the United States. Very special. And it's because of their genius that we remain the finest people on the planet after 250 years. Unlike so many others in the world, in this country we have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, equal justice under the law, although I wasn't treated that well, but we won't get into that. And the right to keep and bear arms. And for the almost 6 years that I was president, I guarded very, very powerfully your Second Amendment, and they didn't do a thing to it, and it was not easy. But we guard your Second Amendment. We guard it very, very strongly and cautiously. Across the generations, Americans have fought, bled, and died, not just to secure those, to expand them to citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed, because we are one people. We are one family. You showed that tonight with one flag. And as our Declaration of Independence tells us, we are all made in the image of one Almighty God. And a communist will sure. Few heroes remind us more than William Carney, who escaped slavery to become a Union soldier in the Civil War, which was a very big deal at the time. On the first battle, he saw comrades struck down enemy fire while carrying the stars and stripes, and Sergeant Carney dove to the ground to keep the flag from touching the mud. He didn't want to have it touch the ground. He didn't want to have it touch the mud. He wanted it to be perfect. He raised it high above the field and was shot 4 times. They thought he was gone, but he kept moving forward. He loved our country. He loved our flag. Before he returned to camp and announced, "Boys, the old flag never touched the ground." And he became the first African American to receive the Congressional Medal of Honor. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor, and he was the first African American, and he was some man. They've written stories about him. He was something special. With us tonight to celebrate this forward march of freedom is another Medal of Honor recipient, Colonel Paris Davis, whose courage won eternal glory in Vietnam. He helped lead a surprise attack on 100 enemy combatants. They said he was finished. His whole group was finished. And despite multiple life-threatening wounds, saved the lives of his fellow soldiers. And this evening he stands to salute the only flag of its kind, the one that was draped over the casket of President Abraham Lincoln in Independence Hall. Thank you very much. Great.
Wow, guys.
He looks better than I do. He looks great, and he's brave. Because of heroes like these, our flag will always be a symbol of liberty and justice for all. Colonel Davis, thank you very much. Great man. Great man, thank you. Americans expanded the blessings of freedom, and we have never stopped expanding our ambitions and our dreams. We had the American dream. We never had the American dream, however, like we have it right now. The American dream is back, very strong, beautiful. You know, to get into our military now is tough. 2 years ago, we couldn't fill a job, and now it's overflowing. We have so many, setting records. We're setting records. It's actually hard to get in. That includes our great police forces and our firemen. They couldn't hire anybody. Nobody wanted to do it. Now it's hard to get those positions, but it's really hard to get into our military because people respect and love our country again. Our rise to being the world's strongest and most powerful nation was no accident of history. We rebuilt our military in my first term. We use it a little bit in our, actually I should say third term, but I won't do that because I don't want any controversy. But we use it, and we've had tremendous success. You look at Venezuela, you look at Iran, we wiped out their military. Americans crossed the Great Plains, scaled the Rockies, we just tamed the wilderness and conquered the frontier and built the empire. It's called the Empire of Liberty. We laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, those beautiful skyscrapers, and dug out the Panama Canal, considered the 8th wonder of the world, which everyone said was an impossible thing to do. And by the way, 38,000 Americans died to give us one of the greatest engineering feats of all time, the Panama Canal. This was the unstoppable spirit that created the world's most powerful industries and built the strongest military anyone had ever seen. And today it is stronger and more powerful than it ever was before. American grit, boldness, and daring forged heroes like Davy Crockett, Wyatt Earp, Annie Oakley, Teddy Roosevelt, and the legend of the Wild West, Buffalo Bill Cody. These were great, powerful people whose incredible grandchildren happen to be with us tonight. And they stand alongside one of the first American flags ever to fly over our expanding nation. It was carried west just as Lewis and Clark began their journey in 1803. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great to have you. Great to have you, to honor this audacious and indomitable soul of America. We also have the first flag ever to fly over one of the greatest architectural feats of all time, a thing called the Brooklyn Bridge, one of the most beautiful bridges anywhere in the world, built a long time ago. To its right, the banner that flew atop our flagship after America's Navy sank the Spanish fleet to the bottom of the Manila Bay, one of the greatest naval victories in history. much like our recent victory by sinking the entire Iranian Navy, 159 ships, to the bottom of the sea, all done in just a moment's time, happened very quickly. We have the greatest military anywhere in the world. And next to it, we also have the flag that was given to that immortal, just a fantastic, immortal Rough Rider, the one and only. And I was at the museum the other day at its opening, Theodore Roosevelt, when he returned triumphant from Cuba, printed with the words, "Welcome home, Colonel Roosevelt." He was a victor of San Juan Hill. He was a great gentleman. Americans won the West and built the modern world because America is a nation of winners. And today our country is winning again, and we're winning like never before. America is back, and we want to keep America great, and we will do so by approving the Save America Act, which means all voters must show voter ID. All voters.
It's only an 80% issue,
All
sir.
voters must provide a little thing called proof of citizenship. And there will be no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel. And you won't have cheating on the elections anymore. It's very simple. Together, we are also reasserting the truth that American strength and power is not something to be ashamed of. It is something that we are very, very proud of. This country has been the greatest force for peace and justice on earth. In the last century, we defeated tyrants, demolished evil, and saved freedom again and again and again. Ken Schubring was 19 years old when he survived the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. After enemy planes sank ships like the USS Arizona, he resolved that he would help America strike back and win. He wanted them to strike back and win. Flying B-29s in the Pacific, Ken fought from the first day to the very last. He was in the war right from the first day, and he went to the last day and all the way to the enemy's unconditional surrender. We got an unconditional surrender. He was there at 104 years old and looking really good. Captain Schubring is here tonight, and he is saluting the flag that went down with the Arizona at Pearl Harbor, but was raised back up with the help of some unbelievable American patriots. It's a symbol of American defiance, please. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Captain. Great job. Thank you very much. You have very good genes. That's his son. His son's going to be around a long time. Thank you very much, Captain. On D-Day in World War II, Navy Lieutenant Arthur Rose commanded 36 landing craft as part of the largest naval armada in history. Recalling that sight, he wrote home to his parents, "What a country we are." At 107 years old, Lieutenant Rose is here to salute one of our nation's most prized possessions, the flag that flew aboard the first landing craft on D-Day and led the first Americans onto the beaches of Normandy to liberate Europe and defeat Nazi fascism forever.
Looking good for 107. My goodness.
I'm telling you, dude, if anybody can achieve 107 looking like that, you are knocking it out of the park.
Wow.
Better take your deer antler.
Lieutenant Rose, you are an inspiration to this beautiful crowd, and we thank you very much. Amazing man. 107. It's 100.
Stay in there. What else you got?
In the Pacific, the Marines faced some of the most brutal combat in the history of warfare. They shed their blood for every inch of mountain that they reached. And when they reached the summit and raised the stars and stripes for all to see, it was so special to everybody there. Everybody there and everybody watching. They couldn't believe it. It wasn't supposed to happen. With us today is one of the last survivors of that battle, 101-year-old Marine Corporal Don Graves. And he's here to salute that famous flag he saw rise in the glory of Iwo Jima 81 years ago. And you've all seen that flag many times.
Oh, have we, haven't we, Jeff? That's the flag that was in every single bread of every single Q drop ever.
Yep.
That flag flew as a picture of those threads.
So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the fighters and the banners of the greatest generation. They are the greatest generation. I hate to admit that, but they are. They saved the world and they made America very, very proud. We're very proud of you, heroes all. And after we vanquished fascism, Americans stood against the evil of communism in the Cold War. And as I said last night at the beautiful Mount Rushmore, what a beautiful place, where Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt loomed over my shoulder as I spoke. America will never be a communist country. Won't happen.
Won't happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
Communism is a loser, and it always will be. The communist system is the opposite of the American system, and the communist system has never worked. Our warriors did not fight communism on battlefields across the world, only to have that menace rear its ugly head right back here in America. We're not going to let it happen.
We're not going to let it happen, Shady.
Not on our watch, sir.
So tonight, Q Lounge Live, Shady Groove, what are we talking about?
Tonight on the Q. At 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be digging deep into the true origins of communism. Where does it come from? Some random thing just happened in the 1800s? Or does it go back in time a little bit? Does it connect to anything? You hear protests about no kings, and you see numbnut Democrats running around acting like commies and saying that they're freedom fighters. I'm going to teach you a little something about how they're not, and exactly how it is that your country is what it is that you can depend on to protect you as innocent until proven guilty. There's not a single king, queen anywhere in history that ever protected a human being as innocent until proven guilty, until the American Constitution, which has done that for millions of people throughout the last 250 years.
So tune in tonight for the Q Lounge Live, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel right here, and Truth for Freedom on YouTube, Shady.
And I think we're going to be on our regular channel on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, and we're going to be streaming to X. So we're trying to get it out there as far as we can. Also, Q Lounge Live on your favorite podcast platform is also now available. I need you guys to share this stuff and to start getting people out there. If you're enjoying the content that we're doing here and what it is that we're doing, and you think that you can help somebody, share the information with them. We don't need donations as much as we need you to share it. We do need your donations, but we also need you to share the show so that we can teach people that the Alex Jones model is no different than the Antifa model.
That's right. Rev Rob, $17 of gold, Tether Gold from Rumble Wallet. Thank you so much. Miss Apel Anon, 5 subscriptions. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. We're not going to let it happen. No communism. Back to Trump.
The strength is amazing, isn't it?
We like to stop a threat like that immediately and before it begins. It's like a cancer. You got to cut it out. You got to cut it out fast. Tonight
just listen to that, guys.
He didn't say that you have to ignore it and live with him, did it?
No.
Did he?
No. We're going to do something about it. It won't last. It's a loser. It's a cancer. We got to stop it immediately.
What do you do if you have a wound that's all pussy and it's not looking good? You're just going to leave it alone, or you're going to cut it out?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Whew. Back to President Trump.
Proudly thank veterans of the war on communism, including Marine Corporal Pat Finn and Private First Class Rudy Meekins, who fought at the famed Battle of Chosin Reservoir in Korea. That was a rough one. Thank you. Pat fought in hand-to-hand combat with the enemy. He had 5 against him, and he was 1. And as you can see, he's around to talk about it. And Rudy was wounded 4 times, but never stopped shooting, and he never stopped moving forward. And also with us is veteran Sonny Ray, who fought heroically against an enemy force 10 times his unit size and earned a tremendously deserved Silver Star. Tonight they salute one of the very first 50-star flags to fly above the field of battle. This was about the beginning of the 50. And right next to it is one of the last flags from Checkpoint Charlie, very famous place on the Berlin Wall, where American freedom finally brought communism crashing down to an end. Thank you so much. You are really very special. Thank you. Thank you very much. The Stars and Stripes cast the hammer and sickle into oblivion before, and we will do it again if necessary. I don't think.
Oh my God.
What?
We will do it again if necessary. And then let's see what he says.
It's going to be necessary. I think people have learned.
He says, I don't
learned-
think it's going to be necessary. I think people have learned. Interesting, guys.
What to do and how to handle it, and we're going to handle it very well. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you very much. You're amazing people.
Oh,
Amazing men.
Shady.
Thank you.
You're getting all fired up over there. Look at you.
I want these commies out of my country. And I want my friends
about
that think
that,
that they're
huh? Isn't that
patriots, they're
What an
communists,
honor it
Shady.
is
To
be
see
with
that
you.
they're communist.
Give it 107.
107.
That's up there, but hopefully he's got 20 good years left.
So Q Post 107 is, may God also grant us all the wisdom to ask what concrete steps we can take to reduce the violence and weaponry in our midst. Note, when we just sent the go orders and went, and when this tweet went live, coincidence, pray, Q. And then he just said 20. What do you think Q Post 20 is, Shady? Let's see. 20. He'll live 20 years more. Who did POTUS meet with yesterday? What firm contracted to conduct the renovations? Interesting. So it's talking about how many military generals were on the White House list to attend a separate meeting. Could those meetings be combined? Interesting, guys. So back to President Trump. Let's try to see if we can finish it up. I think we're going to have to take a break, though, first. Check it out.
Through the generations, Americans have never stopped striving to lift humanity to new heights. In 1903, the Wright brothers from Ohio fulfilled the age-old dream of mankind to fly. That's right, they're from Ohio, great state. And within 66 years of inventing the airplane, Americans planted our flag on the moon. Just 3 months ago, we sent American astronauts back to the far side of the moon, and this time they flew further from Earth than anyone has ever flown before. And here they are.
And this was such a brilliant
Tonight,
moment,
we're
too.
joined by
To
that
connect the
crew
past to now.
NASA, Artemis, you know the crew, everybody. Artemis II, and everybody watched. Isn't that amazing? And they became very famous. Everybody watched. I was watching. I don't know what it was. That one got the attention of everybody. And along with the last man to walk on the moon, Apollo 17 astronaut Jack Schmitt. Thank you, Jack. You look like you could be with them, Jack. You look very good. You look very good, Jack. Thank you very much. What a job. Everybody was watching. I was with a group of people that normally wouldn't be watching, and we're having a big dinner, and they all said, we want to turn on, we want to watch Artemis II. A lot of people said, what is that? By the end of the evening, they knew. It was amazing. And along with Jared, where's Jared? He's so great. He's running NASA. What a job he's done. So I want to thank you all. Thank you very much. Great job.
Wow.
So these champions of flight stand this evening beside the flag flown on the Wright brothers airplane, piloted by Orville Wright. It's the exact flag, very historic.
Pretty amazing, Shady Group, but we're going to have to wait and go to break real quick. We'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
Thank you.
Q-Launch Live tonight.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and
But
such.
there is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received a generous $500 donation from Spilty, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, it's Jeffrey Peterson and Shannon Townsend with the MG Show. We are under relentless attack by the mainstream media. They've got our PayPal, our Patreon, our YouTube, our everything, you name it. We are under attack. We need your help.
Our request is for you to get involved and support independent patriot journalism here in this critical battle that we are in for America. Please jump on over and support us right here on Give, Send, Go.
MyPillow's second annual mega sale is finally here. Get our patented premium MyPillows that adjust to your exact individual needs to give you the best sleep of your life.
When I got my pillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
Now for the lowest price ever. Kings, $19.98. Queens, only $18.98. And Giza Dream bed sheets, the best sheets in history, for as low as $29.98. Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, towels that actually dry you. What a concept! Now only $39.98. And our made in the USA mattresses and mattress toppers as low as $99.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But that's not all. Order right now and we'll ship your order absolutely free.
The MG Show, where psyops go to die.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's true. You heard correctly. This summer, the Q Lounge Live returns to the airwaves every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Hello, I'm your host, Shannon Townsend, a.k.a. Shady Groove. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to be taking your calls. We are going to be following your wonderful president. We are going to be standing in the gap. We are going to go places where the conspiracy theorists tell you that you're not allowed to go. We are going to uncover the truth and follow along as Donald Trump has his way with all of these people that he stood up a long time ago and told us that he was going to. Well, it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening every single day, and we're going to keep you updated with a weekly show. Get ready, get your friends, show up. That's right, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Join me there, right here on the MG Show channel on Rumble. God bless you and God bless America.
Smash that like for the MG Show!
shadows where the lies take hold. In the matrix and shady groove, sharp and true. With the MG show, they cut through the...
InfoWars is dead, but the fight ain't over yet. Smoke clearing, logo switching. Welcome to the real alternative. They try to bury the truth in the $1 billion grave. Sandy Hook judges liquidate enslaved. Alex went down swinging, but the message don't die. Now the matrix is cracking and the people ask why. Trump called him out cold on Truth Social Blast. Low IQ nut jobs fighting them in the past. From the ashes of Austin, new voices ignite. Jeffrey and Shannon holding the line. No sponsors pulling strings, no globalist chains. Just raw, uncut truth running through your veins. MG Show, hey, the alternative. Info wars gone, but we still live. Truth bombs dropping, red pills flying high. Wake up America, this is your battle cry. MG Show, hey, turn it up loud. From the heartland to the crowd. They can't cancel the message, can't kill the fight. We the people, we the light. Hey. Border invasion, deep state games. Old guard flipped on Trump when the pressure came. Were they MAGA all along or infiltrators in disguise? Talking 25th Amendment, pushing Iran lies. Trump's back in the game, steering America first. Jeffrey and Shannon breaking it down till the job is done. No more filters, no more controlled op lies. We expose the pedals in their suits and ties. That's going crazy. The real norm is away. Type MG in the comments, seal your fate. InfoWars is dead, but freedom's just getting started. Smoke rising, new era, new guard. The matrix is glitching, we hit 'em hard. Trump called the flip, expose the game. Infiltrators scatter when they hear his name. MG Show, hey, the alternative. InfoWars gone, but we still live. Truth bombs dropping, red pills flying high. Wake up America, this is your battle cry. Hey, MG Show, hey, turn it up loud. From the heartland to the crowd. They can't cancel the message, can't kill the fight. We the people, we the light. InfoWars is dead. Long live the MG Show. Jeffrey and Shannon side by side. Real MAGA warriors, no place to hide. Drop the link, share the stream. This is the alternative. Let's go.
Oh,
No,
InfoWars is dead, Shady Groove.
it's a good day.
Wow, I tell you. I have a psyop update. I had somebody come in our chat saying that Mitch McConnell's on life support and they're going to save him till the special election and blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. You fell for a psyop, Shady Groove.
Man, everybody just like jumps right on this stuff. It's so
Wow,
insane.
it's almost like it was true, you would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, this is crazy, man. Well, it is true that his wife went back to China, I heard.
Well, let's just go through this McConnell psyop update, okay? Scott Jennings confirms that he spoke with Mitch McConnell this morning. McConnell is recovering in the hospital, and they talked for nearly 20 minutes about Iran, Ukraine, and the situation in Maine, and the TR Presidential Library, Teddy Roosevelt, and even some Senate history. Jennings said we want to see him back at work as soon as possible. So this is Scott Jennings' quote. "I spoke to my old friend Mitch McConnell, you psyoping assholes, this morning. The senior senator from Kentucky is still recovering in the hospital. We talked for just shy of 20 minutes about Iran, Ukraine, unfolding situation in Maine, my visit to the Teddy Roosevelt Presidential Library, and even a little bit about the Senate history. I told him we want to see." Okay, so there it is, guys. Not buying this. Oh, yeah, you're not buying it because why?
Because they've already...
Unfollow.
Because they're addicted to the psycho. They're addicted to the psyop. They're addicted to something other than what's being said. They're trained like monkeys to not be able to understand anything that is being told to them, regardless of what it is that backs up the claim. If you have evidence that backs up the claim, we talked about this before, correspondence. Do things correspond to reality or not? In a situation like this, you cannot talk to a dead person. Therefore, dead people saying McConnell is not alive would be uncorresponding to reality.
Now, do I think it's plausible? Yeah, that's how these psyops work, guys, because he is brain dead. I mean, you've seen him, right? He's
we didn't say we were like voting for him.
Right. We don't like him, okay? I mean, I get it. But to believe something and come into our chat like it's true, and you didn't do your due diligence, and you're just believing some Laura Loomer, for example. She's right sometimes, but she's wrong a lot of times. These people do psychological operations, okay?
They do that on
Against
purpose. Right. They do that on purpose. They're right one day, they're wrong the next day. They're right one day, they're wrong the next day. They do this on purpose so that they can keep you in a suspended state of animation. In other words, emotional outburst or outrage or I'm sick of this or this is enough or I wish more would happen or I can't take it. All of these things, they're trying to push you to the brink effectively. And once they get you to the edge, then what they're going to do is they're going to start digging the dirt out from underneath you and hopefully get you to fall over the edge and never come back to any type of sense of normalcy. We have seen throughout the last decade how many thousands of people, Jeff, how many thousands of people have we watched literally fall right off of that cliff over and over again, buying into this nonsensical stuff that's easily, look, there's going to be a constant feed of BS coming at us. It's never going to stop. How come you're putting on your BS meter, and then something gets through?
Yeah.
Nothing should ever get through.
And then Scott Jennings has no reason to lie that he spoke to Mitch McConnell. And somebody says, not buying this. Nope.
Because they can make a post and say that. The contrarian is the immediate social media reaction to everything. You need to filter that out. And it's part of what I do to these people is whenever they're doing that, I get in there and I call them what like I see. And then the next thing you know, they're all twisted up and they can't defend anything that they're saying and they're blocking you because they didn't really have anything to say to begin with, just like you said.
Yeah, I'm going to share the post into chat, guys. Get over there and repost it or, disagree with me. It's okay because you don't have the proof. If we had a report saying that Mitch McConnell is there, I mean, we just have some lady out there. I don't know who she's from. It wasn't Larry Loomer. It was somebody else, Shady. And she's like, I'm out here waiting and to see if, they're going to take him out and all this other stuff. It's like, okay, great. And they haven't. And there's no evidence. It's right now, it's just hearsay crap until we can actually prove it.
You mean anybody can go out and turn on a phone and a camera and say anything to a camera and then publish it on the internet?
Yep.
Without any evidence?
Correct.
And then there's absolutely no way to verify the claim. So you either have a choice. You have a binary choice, don't you? You either believe them or you don't. So if your default position is to believe nonsense with no evidence, that's a problem. And I would suggest you work on that first, then worry about trying to interpret the world around you.
But Shady, I'm non-binary.
I know you're, but you are transitioning.
McConnell's dying.
Where are you transitioning to?
I don't know. I just, it's just stupid, guys. And that's, I guess, if Mitch McConnell dies before I'm going to see, yet he's doing it even. If he dies, we'll report it. But until then, guys, you don't have the facts, and we get in trouble, Shady Grove, by busting these psyops, don't we?
It really does seem like, everybody just wants things to be true that aren't true. I don't get it.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I kind of get it. It's the human, thing, I guess. I don't know, but I'm the kind of guy that just needs to have, a high-level source close to the White House says Mitch McConnell is officially brain dead. He's not coming back. That's their high-level source close to the White House, Shady. So if you just stood there next to the White House saying, Mitch McConnell's brain dead, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, there's your high level next to the White House, close to the White House. All right. So let's go back to real stuff, Shady Grove, instead of this crap that we can't prove. I'm sorry, guys. I get upset.
I had to take a break.
You had to take a break? All right.
Yeah. I had to go take a break. Whew.
All right, here we go.
I didn't want to,
I know.
I didn't want to pop.
I popped.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, we couldn't have two of that. We couldn't, if it happened at the same time, the internet might break.
I popped.
I weaved.
I bobbed, I weaved. Okay, let's finish up President Trump's amazing historic speech. Check it out.
And they are honored to be here. They told me today they were really amazed to be here with that flag. That's a very special flag if you're in the world of flying aircraft. So congratulations to everybody. Fantastic job. Very proud of you. And I have a special gift for these patriots. This morning on America's 250th birthday, a new flag was flown above the United States Capitol. And tonight I present it to you to soon be planted by American astronauts on their upcoming return to the moon. And in addition to that, I gave them and all of the great heroes that you saw up on stage tonight and a few others that couldn't quite make the stage, I gave them a very special medal from the White House. So it's an honor. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. So then I assume you're going to be heading to Mars, right? We're going to be going to Mars very soon.
Well, yeah.
I think that's something that we do have in mind, and we're going to do the moon, and we're going to go from there. We're going to go to Mars, and we're going to continue to be way ahead. We did Space Force. That was something I was very proud of, and some people smiled. They thought it was foolish, and now they're finding it's one of the most important things that we've done. We were losing to China and to Russia in space, and now we're leading them by giant steps, and it's a great thing, and it's people like that really, like you, that made it happen. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, Jeff. So as we celebrate...
So I see people in here saying that we're back to the moon landing, more lies about the moon landing, but Q said that we did land on the moon. Do you remember that, Shady?
I do.
Yeah. Very interesting. I don't know. It's psyops upon psyops upon psyops.
You want me to talk about that, or are we just going to move on?
Whatever you want to do, Shady. It's our show, isn't it?
I will address it a little bit if you want me to address it, because I have I've been staunchly understanding for a long time, up until I would say about 3-4 years ago, that all moon landing was BS. And I agree with a number of different things about the process, but the reality of the situation is I have updated my position on this, and I now do believe that we actually did go to the moon, because there was evidence that I didn't realize until very recently. And the evidence that is there that I didn't realize until recently are that there are multiple targets that have been placed on the moon, one by the United States way back in the 70s, and the other one by the Russian lander. And I can't remember the exact phrase of what they're called. But what they effectively are, they are targets that we can shoot with a laser from Earth to this target directly on the moon and get a reflection back from that target that was put there by the astronauts in the late 70s, and also by the Russian craft that landed there. I can't remember what the year was. So because of this, and then with the Artemis II crew mission, I paid extra close attention to exactly every single piece of this, and watched them as they came down. I watched them as they sat there and they did their whole speech. We went to the moon.
Yeah.
We went to the moon. The movie stuff that we see that came out from the guy, I can't remember his name, that helped them with the movie sets. Yes. The movie sets and the stuff that we saw, all that stuff is real. And what they were doing was they were effectively dramatizing the event. The X amount of the things that they showed you that were on the moon, that were live video, and all, X amount of that was fake. Wasn't real. They were mixing and matching and making you seem like they were filming the stuff in real time. They weren't filming the stuff in real time. Some of it was footage that wasn't fake. That was fake. That's why you're seeing the anomalies with the shadows. That was the big thing that I had with the shadows of the moon rocks on the moon, or the pictures that they put out didn't make any sense because you can't have multiple light sources. And what I've since learned is that they were mixing and matching evidence or footage, and they had created all this footage from these remote locations on these movie sets to implicate the moon landing. So because these laser targets exist on the moon, and because we just watched what we just watched in real time of the Artemis crew mission going to the moon, and because of the posts dropped by Q that say that the conspiracy theories around the idea that we didn't go to the moon is the conspiracy theory, I have now changed my position and believe that America did, in fact, land on the moon. And I also believe that some of the astronauts that landed on the moon were under hypnosis to some degree. And that's the reason that they don't, there's some psychological thing that they did to those people that makes them seem not credible. But the 4 crew members that just went there, they are extraordinarily credible, and their evidence that they literally did go around the moon is undeniable in Shady's opinion.
So Knee Deep in Truth says, I don't remember Q saying we went. Well, it was this post right here on 9/19/2018. Q post 2225. Question, Q. Did NASA fake the moon landings? Have we been on the moon since then? Are there secret space programs? Is this why Space Force was created? False. Moon landings are real. Programs exist that are outside of public domain. Q.
No. Okay. So what they show you is all lies, but you should just believe them, or just believe they went to the moon. No, sir. No, I'm not saying that it's all lies. I'm saying some of it was dramatizations of footage that were put on television for TV. You could characterize that as a quote lie. I understand what you're saying, and that was not truthful reporting to be doing that. It's absolute nonsense. I understand and I agree with you completely. But we were also selling to the world the idea that we were there to a world that was acting like we couldn't go or we weren't going to get there. So there was a segment of this to the idea of you got to convince people. You can't deny that these targets are on the moon, that you can yourself use a laser. You can go to observatories specifically around the country, and they will point the laser at the moon and get your reflection reading to know within 2 to 5 centimeters of exactly how far away the moon is from Earth. This is, like I said, this is what the MG show is, guys. We're not going to BS you. We're going to tell you the truth. I am not personally emotionally invested into any story. I'm invested in the idea of getting to the bottom of it and sharing with you what I really think, and the rest is up to you to figure it out.
Exactly right. Exactly. And you can believe whatever you want to believe, but come with some sauce, like Shady just did. Okay? All right, here we go, Shady. And when that post was posted, I didn't think the moon was real. Shady
I didn't either. And also, it has to do a lot with the Bill Cooper stuff. And the stuff that Bill Cooper explains about the moon landing is absolutely real. It was all encoded in ritual, in the way that they named it, the times, the Apollo landing, the place that they landed on the moon. All of these things were ritualistically branded. That's the way that the cult works. The cult makes things work by ritualizing it or symbolizing it or whatever it is. So effectively, they were showing you there's the cult. This is the cult that's doing it. And then they gaslight everybody with the whole, going to the moon landing is a lie narrative on the other side.
Yep, exactly right. And flat earthers are united around the globe, Shady.
That's so weird. That where we go one, we go all.
I know. All right, here we go. Back to President Trump, finishing up the speech.
America's unmatched achievements and unlimited potential. We never forget that none of this would have been possible without those who gave everything so that we could reach this 250th year of freedom. We are honored to be joined by 11 Gold Star family members. The Gold Star family, that is one of the great tributes. It's one of the great honors, a tough honor. There's nothing tougher than that. But these are amazing people. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Come on up.
Amazing people is the least we could say.
They went through a lot. Thank you very much. And that special person is looking up there and looking down at mom and dad, husband, wife, but they're looking down with great pride. You know that. You know that. And we want to thank you for being here. Thank you very much. And we have medals for you backstage. I brought them. I thought I'd be handing them out about 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. But we're going to be backstage, and we have beautiful medals for you, for your family, from the White House. Thank you very much, everybody. We love you. On this special 4th of July, we give you our undying gratitude and promise to redeem the sacrifice of your heroes by preserving the America that they loved. They loved our country. They sacrificed it all. And these people have sacrificed it all. They've been through hell. We love you. Thank you very much. Thank you. From 1776 to today, everywhere the American flag has flown, it has been a symbol of strength, righteousness, and hope, because that is who Americans are. In 1944, a mother and her daughter huddled in their house in Nazi-occupied Belgium and prayed desperately for their country to be freed. They wanted freed. As they waited, they found scraps of fabric and stitched together a homemade American flag. It's beautiful, but homemade. On the day they were finally liberated, and that's what the word is, liberated, they gave it to an American soldier as a gift. Little did they know that that soldier's great-grandfather was none other than the author of our Star-Spangled Banner, Francis Scott Key.
That is amazing.
And tonight, the next generation of the Key family is with us. Thank you very much. Please.
What an honor.
Thank you. Major Kyle Key has spent 23 years in the U.S. Army, highly respected, and this evening he proudly salutes the old flag that was made by the Belgian woman so beautifully, and who knew that America means hope and freedom. Congratulations, and thank you for being here very much. And in conclusion, from a declaration in Philadelphia to victory at Yorktown, from the bustling factories of the heartland to the towering snow-capped summits of Alaska, from the endless frontier of the open Wild West to the magnificent sand dunes at Kitty Hawk, from the glimmering skyline of Manhattan to the far side of the moon, you just saw that, and from the now safe and beautiful capital of Washington. Think of it, Washington, D.C., our capital. Our capital is now safe, gleaming, and beautiful again. It's safe again. Went from a very unsafe place 2 years ago to one of the safest cities in the country, and one of the most beautiful. To the gleaming waters of the Gulf of America. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome. There is no place we cannot go. There is no goal we cannot reach, and there is nothing that Americans cannot do, and we're proving that right now. Our stock market is the strongest it's ever been. We have $19.2 trillion being invested in our country, which is 6 times more than ever happened before. We're building more factories in the United States than ever before. Everyone's 401ks are at the highest number they've ever been. And more people are working today in the United States than any time in the history of our country. But in this country, we can achieve the wildest and most impossible dreams. And no dream in history is bigger or more incredible than the one that started on July 4th, 1776. The war for independence was launched by Minutemen, farmers, blacksmiths, tradesmen, who took up their muskets against the mightiest army on earth, the most powerful army, an unbeatable army, until they met us. No one made them do it. They fought because they knew that a free people must have a free country. Over 250 years, the mighty nations and terrible tyrants, they came and they went. But after they came and they went. But after 2.5 centuries, this American republic still stands tall and strong, and we love each other. That showed tonight. You heard it was over, and what happened? You came back. And this American flag still waves proud and free and beautiful. We have thrived and flourished because our founders were great. Our cause was just, our people are brave, our culture is exceptional, and our destiny is written by God. And as we can see here tonight, after 250 years, the spirit of 1776 still lives within us all. It still roars in the hearts of our nation's capital. It still burns in the heart of every patriot, thunders through every city and town, and it still lights the entire world with the glow of American liberty. And there is nothing like that. At 250 years old, we may be the oldest constitutional republic on earth, but our country is just getting started because the best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come, guys. This is American exceptionalism.
This is only the dawn of the golden age of America. And on this 250th 4th of July, we declare, just as they did 2.5 centuries ago, that for our country and for our children and for the cause of liberty, we are going to take our country to new levels, to levels not reached. We're going to make it bigger, better, stronger, and we're going to love it even more. And I just want to thank you. And the inconvenience of lightning can do that, but lightning will never stop you. And I want to thank everybody, and we love you all. And it's an honor to be your president. Thank you. God bless you all.
It's an honor to have you.
God bless you all. Thank you.
It's an honor to have him as our president, Shady Grove. God bless you all. That speech will go down in infamy, Shady Grove. I tell you, that speech and the Mount Rushmore speech highlighting communism, we're not going to let it happen. Oh, I love the sounds of that, guys. Something big is about to happen, Shady.
Yeah, and as I was listening to that, I was terrified of the thought that Kamala Harris was delivering that address. I was terrified at the thought that Joe Biden would be delivering that address, or any other person in America that considers themselves part of the Democrat Party after what we've watched from the Democrat Party for the last 10 years. Absolute nothing but an unbelievable frothing at the mouth need to destroy America, to root for the opposition. They're rooting against you. They're rooting against Donald Trump. They're saying that we shouldn't have our whole team on the field for the FIFA game. They're saying that we shouldn't stop Iran from having a nuclear weapon. We've got people that have been endorsed by General Flynn that are currently in Iran, walking in unison with the Iranian regime of the IRGC, commemorating the death of one of the most destructive dictators ever put on earth by the intelligence agencies. They're out there acting like that this guy is some sort of a hero. I'm telling you all, what Trump is saying, and Jeff, you were hitting on it this morning, but there is something that man is thinking that he's going to do that none of us know what it is yet.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't wait.
That's exactly why I bought all this popcorn.
I know, dude. It's like crazy. Let me see. This is the gentleman right now. Shady, you were just talking about this. This is the post. General Flynn's personal hero demonstrating hate against America, Jackson Hinkle. Shady Grove. Look at this.
We literally endorsed the guy like however long ago.
So, you know, it really confirms that he's a Nazi, Shady Grove, because the Nazis set up the Middle East.
100%. It 100% does. And, it's like all these people, like they're really desperate for these alternative narratives. They're desperate for you to think that the Iran is not the CIA. They're desperate for you to think that it's just a regular state out there. Like you literally, Q explained to you specifically exactly how Iran was a boogeyman state controlled by the globalist powers that be to implement a world order. They called it a new world order. The new world order was to destroy religion and bring the world under one religion. And that one religion that they chose is not a hidden fact, was the Church of Rome.
Yeah. So think about it, guys. Today, you've got Democrat socialists. Nazis are national socialists. They're aligning with Muslims. The National Socialists are also aligning with Muslims. I mean, guys, if you don't know your history, we're bound to lose, Shady.
But listen to what you're saying. Like, listen to the word salad that you're saying, because they are national socialists. But look at what they do whenever they come out in the media. They accuse you of being a nationalist. Yep. You're a right-wing extremist nationalist. But the reality is, what are they doing? They're projecting onto you what they are. They see themselves, and they also think in their dumb minds that you're like them. And so whenever they say to you that you're the thing that they're actually worried about, they don't have the mental capacity to recognize not only the irony, but also the hypocrisy.
Yeah. And, also, guys, I mean, if you look at everything, it's all there. History is not going to repeat itself. We're going to nip it in the bud. We got to cut it out immediately, like it's a cancer. Oh my God, Shady. And I don't think people realize what Hitler did with the Middle East. I mean, he broadcast radios over there to weaponize them against the Jews. They're all against the Jews now as well. It's crazy, guys. And you were talking about projection. I was watching the Trump speech on TikTok, and all these people are like, Trump is a pedo. You guys are projecting. Trump is a convicted felon. He's not a convicted felon. These people are insane, Shady. Like why didn't Biden and Clinton talk about Epstein or Obama?
Why doesn't anybody go on there and call them that?
Yeah.
You're not going to see that whenever they're speaking. You're only going to see that because the network is huge. The network is massive, and the network is a network of people that have opinions that aren't real. They're fake opinions, so that you go along with their opinions thinking that they're popular. Remember earlier in the show, we're talking about popularity versus patriotism. Those things are almost never synonymous. The patriotic thing to do is almost never the popular thing to do. Going all the way back to the Revolutionary War, only like 3 to 5% of America participated or even wanted America to secede from Britain.
Yeah.
And then the people that the people that were controlling, the people that were trying to secede from the Union in the South, were the same as the people that were trying to undermine the Revolutionary War 100 years earlier. And that's the same people that came out of nowhere and implemented a Federal Reserve and put every single massive multinational Fortune 500 companies within a trust or a monopoly, and then started screaming and yelling that anybody that did anything on their own was the monopoly, not them that was the monopoly.
Yeah, it's crazy, guys. Is the public stupid? Adolf Hitler thought so. You remember that video as well? That was a Bill Cooper video. I'm trying to find the one video that we even had the people that the Azov battalion doing the Cathedral of Lights. They're literally Nazis, guys. And who are the ones that support Ukraine? Wow, it's all making sense now, isn't it, Shady? Is the picture being painted, guys?
You wouldn't believe leaving here where I live, I can drive 1 mile into town down one street, and I drive by, if I go that way, I drive by somewhere between 15 and 20 Ukraine flags flying in people's yards.
Yeah.
Literally, I can see I don't see an American flag on their property. They have a Ukraine flag flying on their property. That is a symbol of extraordinarily effective brainwashing.
Yeah. It's crazy, guys.
They didn't love their country before. And so what happens is there's a void. They don't really care about their country. They've been taught to hate it. They've been taught that you're the Nazis and all this stuff. It's terrible. So, but every human being wants to assimilate or to associate or to be associated with something. So what do? They raise their pride flag. They raise their Ukraine flag. They raise their Antifa flag. They raise their BLM flag, and they kneel and look down at the ground when everybody else is standing up and putting their hand on their heart and singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Wow.
And then they rush to microphones, Jeff, and the media to tell you that we have to listen to them tell us about what's best for us or how to live our life. If you saw the Mondami thing, I couldn't believe the things that this guy was saying. And the people of New York are just sitting there nodding along with this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's literally telling you that I'm going to come and I'm going to attack every single Jewish homeowner in the city of New York and take your house and give it to a Muslim. He's pretty much saying that.
Yeah, it is. He is.
Or you got to take them in, right? He's saying, if you're not going to give up your house, then you got to take them in, like the snake. And Trump telling you about the snake might have a lot more relevance in the near future.
That's right. Let's get into, speaking of National Socialism, we're having a meeting in Turkey with NATO, Shady.
Yes. We are.
Is it NATO meeting? It's a NATO meeting.
Erdogan,
bilateral with the Republic of Turkey. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So NATO, interesting, isn't it? What were we just talking about? How did NATO start? Who were the first generals of NATO? Why don't you do a little research and you guys let me know and let us know?
Okay.
All right. Here we go. President.
All the roads coming in were brand new and beautiful, and you've been a great leader and a respected leader all over the world, and we really do. We've had right from the beginning good chemistry. We've had a very special relationship. Turkey has become, under the president, a very powerful country militarily. People don't know how powerful, actually. And they have a lot of our equipment, and they have a lot of great soldiers, and they really somebody to be reckoned with. And the nice part is that because of the relationship that we have, it's all gone very well. I just want to say that I have a lot of respect for the president, and I think it's really to the benefit of both countries. We're going to be talking today about trade. We're going to be talking about other things having to do with the military, lots of different things. Probably we'll mention Iran, where we have essentially decimated their military. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. And we're going to have some very good discussions. But we do a lot of trade with Turkey. We make great things and they make great things, and we've had it's had a very big impact on both of our countries. So I just want to tell you that it's an honor to be with you, and we're going to have a lot of good meetings. We're going to have good dinners, good food. We're going to have a good time, but mostly we're going to have a lot of work, and we're going to do good things for our countries. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Sayın Cumhurbaşkanım, tamamına kadar geldiniz. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Sen çok uzun süren bir dostluğumuz var biliyorsunuz. Son derece saygı duyduğum, yakın bulduğum bir insansınız. Buradaki buluşmalarımızda, görüşmelerimizde 3 konudan bahsedeceğiz. Askeri, ticari ve bir de İran konusundan bahsedeceğiz. Gerçekten çok güçlüsünüz. Çok güçlü askeri ve silah sanayi açısından çok güçlü bir yerisiniz şu anda. Dolayısıyla teşekkür ediyorum ve çok iyi bir vakit geçirdiğinize inanıyorum.
Thank you.
Mr. President, are you going to sell F-35s to Turkey, and what about the legal restrictions?
It's a decision we're going to make. We have a very good relationship. I would think that many people, I can tell you, many people, including the people sitting right here, think, why wouldn't we do that? We have a better relationship with Turkey, and Turkey's been in many ways much more loyal than other countries that we think would be loyal. So something certainly we would consider. It's a great plane. It's the best, currently the best plane by far. And it's certainly something we will consider, yeah.
Mr. President, sir.
Yes, Danny?
Mr. President, sir, you said, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, that President Erdogan was a big reason you wanted to come to the summit here. What has made your relationship with him so special, in your own words, and what do you broadly hope to achieve here at the summit.
You never know why a relationship is special. Some people you get along with, and some people you don't. Sometimes you get along with the toughest people, like him.
Okay, I spot a red folder. So I'm going to address that knee deep. In truth, that's another psyop that we fell for. The red folder was Trump's speech, okay, in case the teleprompters failed. So we fell for that one too.
Sometimes you don't get along with the weakest, most pathetic people. You just don't get along. Maybe you don't respect them, but from the day we met, we got along. We had a pastor, so I remember his name was Pastor Brunson, and it was a very big thing, and it was very traumatic. He was sentenced to a long-term prison sentence, and I felt he was innocent, and I called. Other people called, they got nowhere. I called the president, and he released him immediately. It was something that the evangelical community will never forget. He was a good man, Pastor Brunson. So, just things like that, we just it's always worked out. And I think it's been from the very beginning, from the first moment. I said it before, it's a chemistry that works between us. There were those that I don't have a good chemistry with, I will tell you that. And we worked that out too.
Mr. President, are further troop drawdowns in Europe likely? Are you likely to announce further troop drawdowns in Europe?
Say it?
Are further troop drawdowns in Europe likely? And are you satisfied with the progress that NATO allies have
made?
Well,
I was very disappointed with NATO. And frankly, if it weren't held in Turkey, where my friend happens to be a very strong leader, a very strong person, it's possible that I would have attended. I felt I had to attend because of the fact that, I know he's gone all out. It was a big thing to have NATO come to Turkey or any place else. It's a big thing. But we weren't treated well because we did something in Iran. We don't need anybody's help. I didn't even want their help. But before I asked, they said they wouldn't be there. And we've invested trillions of dollars in NATO. Why? To protect European countries and others, Canada, etc., but to protect people, countries from, generally speaking, it used to be the Soviet Union, now it's Russia. And I'd say that's fine, but you would think that they'd be very willing to do something to help us. And they really weren't. In the case of the United Kingdom, the Prime Minister, I guess he's no longer there, maybe because of this. It was a very unpopular thing he did. He said, "No, we'll help after the war is over." I said, I don't need that kind of help. We didn't need any help at all. And in a way, I was testing people. I was testing to see whether or not they'd be there, because I've long said that we helped them, but I'm not sure that they'd be there for us. And Italy turned us down, and Germany turned us down, and France turned us down. And it's okay. But, why are we spending hundreds of billions of dollars and they're not there for us? We've always been there for them.
Türkiye ile Suriye arasında
Sayın Cumhurbaşkanı bir saniye. Habertürk'ü efendim, İran'daki savaşın sona erdirilmesi için oldukça çaba sarf ettiniz. Müzakere süreci devam ediyor ancak nihai bir anlaşma noktasına gelinmiş değil. Bundan sonraki süreçte Türkiye nasıl adım atacak İran ve ABD arasındaki müzakere sürecinin olumlu bir şekilde neticelenmesi için?
Bu süreçte yine aynı şekilde bizler İran-Amerika ilişkilerini nasıl bir düzleme kavuştururuz? Onun gayreti içerisindeyiz. Elimizden geleni yapmak suretiyle dünya barışına bir adım atalım diye gerek şahsım, gerek arkadaşlarım hep birlikte çalışıyoruz.
Gazze'yi sormak isterim ben sizlere. 80 bine yakın insan hayatını kaybetti Gazze'de. Çok büyük bir yıkım var. Ateşkes sağlandı ama yer yer bu ihlaller devam ediyor. Ateşkes ihlallerinin önlenmesi için, insani yardımların Gazze'ye girebilmesi için, ayrıca Gazze'nin yeniden inşa edilebilmesi için önümüzdeki süreçte ortak atabileceğiniz adımları değerlendirecek misiniz muhatabınızla? Müsaade buyururlarsa kendisinin de bu konudaki fikirlerini almak isteriz. Teşekkür ederiz efendim.
Özellikle Gazze konusunda tabii değerli dostumla bunları da konuşarak özellikle bu bölgedeki barışı sağlama için bu liderler zirvesini çok önemsiyoruz. Ve bu liderler zirvesinden aynı şekilde bir kararın çıkmasını da hayra yorumluyoruz. Ve bunun olabileceğine de ben ihtimal veriyorum.
Efendim, Türkiye-ABD ilişkilerinin geliştiği bir dönemi gözlemliyoruz. 2025 yılında geçen yıl Amerika Birleşik Devletleri'ne yaptığımız ziyarette önemli ticari anlaşmalar da imzalandı. Suriye konusunda Türkiye'nin önemli bir aktör olduğunu söylemişti Sayın ABD Başkanı. Şimdi yeni dönemde gelmeden önce de Sayın Trump bir sürprizle geliyorum ifadesini kullandı. F-35'i, Kaan savaş uçaklarının motorlarını konuştuk. Acaba gündeme gelebilir mi şeklinde. Siz bu sürprizin ne olduğunu düşünüyorsunuz? Türkiye bugünkü görüşmelerden sonra istediğini alabilecek mi? Teşekkür ederim.
Tabii F-35 konusu biliyorsunuz bizim için yeni bir konu değil. Ve bunu bizler Amerika'yla daha önce de görüştük. Ve biz 5 uçağı da sözünü aldık ve Sayın Trump'ın bu konuda bize ayrıca sözü var ve şimdi de bu liderler zirvesinde yapacağımız görüşmelerde F-35 ile ilgili kendilerinden bu daha önce aldığımız sözün geleceğe yönelik olumlu şekilde test ettiğimizi biliyorum ve bu konuda da Sayın Trump her zaman sözünün arkasındadır. Burada yine inşallah F-35 konusunda bu liderler zirvesinden hayırlı bir karar çıkacağına inanıyorum.
Russian missile defense system going to be handed over to a third party as part of any deal with F-35s?
What does that mean?
Is it going to be handed over to a third party? Is that not part of the deal?
Third party? What is the third? With respect to what?
There's our concerns about the Russian missile defense system. Do you have those concerns about this system? Are they going to have to?
I have no concerns at all about anything. I mean, he's a leader of a country that he's made a much better country, much more powerful country, and you see it. I mean, it's beautiful. You get off the roads up here, like it's an amazing thing. Now, I have no concerns about anything having to do with Turkey. The relationship, I would say the relationship with Turkey right now is better probably than it's ever been. It was good in my first 4 years, but I think now it's probably even better than that, if that's possible.
Mr. President,
so U.S. military and Turkish military constitute a really strong and large military base for NATO. Are we expecting further defense cooperation out of this bilateral meeting, out of this NATO summit here in Ankara?
Well, we're going to find out when I go there. We're going to find out. We're going to be having meetings. I'm very friendly with many of the leaders. Some of them are new. We don't know them. But, I've been doing this for now sort of a long time. If you count the 4 years when we had a rigged election, I was very much into politics then too. But I spent the first 4 years. I spent 4 years in a little different state, and then we've had an amazing, probably the best year maybe ever had by an American president. When you look at the economy, we have the greatest economy we've ever had. We have $19 trillion, $19.2 trillion to be exact, being invested in the United States. That's 7 or 8 times more than it's ever. It's a world record, not just a U.S. record. And I just read where, in fact, coming over, I was in the car with those beautiful horses, those great riders, those great soldiers, and it came over the wires that Toyota is moving out of Mexico into the United States and building one of the biggest truck and car plants ever built. It's amazing. That's what tariffs do, properly used. And so we've never had a more exceptional economy or potential economy. There's never been anything like it under the last administration, they did much less than $1 trillion of investment coming in. And we're at 19.2 trillion in actually the first 12 months, because that's where it's, really, so we're there a year and a half, so that number is now substantially higher. But 19.2 trillion, Scott, for a period of 12 months. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. So we have by far the greatest economy. We have more jobs right now in the United States than ever before. And we have a great relationship with some countries on trade, and Turkey happens to be one of them.
Sayın Cumhurbaşkanı, siz her fırsatta dünya 5'ten büyüktür, daha adil bir dünya mümkündür diyorsunuz. Bugün konuğunuz Sayın Trump, ABD Başkanı, onun da zaman zaman küresel sistemin mevcut durumuna ilişkin eleştirilerini biliyoruz. NATO'nun iki en büyük askeri gücü olarak bu noktada, bu eleştiriler doğrultusunda ortak bir adım, ortak bir girişimde bulunması önümüzdeki süreçte söz konusu olabilir mi?
NATO'da iki önemli ülke olarak gerek Amerika gerekse Türkiye.
All right. So they're all concerned about the F-35s that we're going to give to Turkey. You know who else is concerned about Turkey? Bibi Netanyahu. Okay. So us being friends, he also said we're going to take off the sanctions on Turkey. We'll take them off. He said that as well. This is President Trump doing diplomacy. This is the United States of America doing diplomacy for America. I mean, correct. Not Israel, nobody else, guys. Okay.
That's a good point to make, because what he's doing is he's making everyone in the region strong. Do you remember this phrase, Jeff? We heard it. It was called a peace through strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jeff, we talk about this all the time, don't we? Like, there's no better polite society than the society where everybody's packing.
If you have if I had a gun, you had a gun, I'd be, after you, sir. Oh, no, after you.
Absolutely.
Okay,
the most
you.
polite society on earth. Absolutely. You're not going to have, nobody's got really a kerfuffle with anything, do they? Well, that's the same exact thing that we're doing for the Middle East. No, we are not like arbitrarily propping up Israel and making Israel some sort of bully for the Middle East to be able to run rumshot over everybody. No, we're going to build up everybody so that everybody has the ability to defend themselves, and then nobody will get, what's the word? I don't know what it is, but get frisky. Nobody's going to get frisky with anybody else, because everybody else is going to recognize that if you get frisky, you're going to get the hammer.
I might be a little frisky.
I think that might have been the wrong word.
Oh. All right, so I just wanted to quickly, there was more to that, but we've got this today, Shitty Groove. His name was Seth Rich, Patriot, Q. His name was Seth Rich. Why was the DNC hacked by Russia? CIA, Brennan Force, Seth Rich, internal DL, hand-to-hand pass, USA, CrowdStrike code insert. Wow. If FBI chain of command was corrupt, what other investigations were corrupted? Who did they provide cover for? How far back did it go? All right, so I've got a lot of posts. If you put Seth Rich into my thing, Tim Burchett, the FBI needs to release all the files on the Seth Rich immediately. Pesky Q proof. Seth Rich just got a little fresh heat. April 19, 2018, Q drop 1195. Seth Rich connects to DNC, MS-13, Julian Assange. Why did the Democrats push legal rep on family? June, ETA. Here we are, July 6th, just a couple days after June. July 6, 2026, attorney Ty Clevenger actually reports hundreds of Seth Rich documents were found in a previously hidden sealed room at FBI headquarters in the burn bags that were tied to the Crossfire Hurricane. And there's 9 were found in a previous...
My fault. So sorry. I'm out.
Was that me?
No, it was me. I opened the screen and it was playing in the background. I'm so sorry.
I heard me though.
I know, but it was actually really good. I was going to go into it and then interrupt you, but I figured I'd just leave you alone.
All right, so there's 8 posts with just Seth Rich, Q. Okay, the first one was in 2020. Oh wait, no, excuse me. I think I have them backwards again. But look at them, Shady Groove. There's also SR posts as well. It's all going to come to light. In fact, it was in 2020, I think, Ty Levenger, whatever his name is, asked if they had FBI had files. They were told no, there were no files. And then come to find out, they did have files, Shady.
Yeah, come to find out that they did do an investigation of a murder in D.C. that just like they would do of any type of situation that happens like that. But then they come out and they gaslight you and say, oh, no, we don't have any. Why would they say that? Because a little entity known as Q goaded them into it a number of years earlier by releasing the information so that everybody has the information except for the FBI. We all know the FBI is the only one still trying to figure it out.
Let me play this short clip from Julian Assange. Check it out.
Donald Trump has had a disastrous few weeks. If you look at the polls, he needs a miracle. In the American political lexicon, there's such a thing as the October surprise. The stuff that you're sitting on, is an October surprise in there? Do you even know what you're sitting on?
WikiLeaks never sits on material. Whistleblowers go to significant efforts to get us material and often very significant risks. As a 27-year-old, works for the DNC, who was shot in the back, murdered just 2 weeks ago for unknown reasons as he was walking down the street in Washington. So
that was just a robbery, I believe, wasn't it?
No, there's no finding. So
what are you suggesting? What are you suggesting?
That he was murdered.
I'm suggesting that our sources take risks and they become concerned to see things occurring like that.
But was he one of your sources then? I mean,
we don't comment on who our sources are.
But why make the suggestion about a young guy being shot in the streets of Washington?
Because we have to understand how high the stakes are in the United States, and that our sources are, our sources face serious risks. That's why they come to us, so we can protect their anonymity.
But it's quite something to suggest a murder. That's basically what you're doing.
See how argumentative it gets?
Others have suggested that. We are investigating to understand what happened in that situation with Seth Rich. I think it is a concerning situation. There's not a conclusion yet. We wouldn't be willing to state a conclusion, but we are concerned about it. And more importantly, a variety of WikiLeaks sources are concerned when that kind of thing happens.
Donald Trump has had a
Wow. And then so you got that shady. I mean, we could do a whole show on Seth Rich. I know we wanted to just kind of talk about it today, but this is it right here. MS-13 187 is the MURDER code for California murder 187. 2 negative 24 distance MS-13 13 equals M MSM the wheel. Okay, pretty interesting, Shady.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because whenever all of this stuff starts to come out, people are going to be wondering why the questions that we would normally have about a person who this had occurred with, who was a DNC operative, would have happened, were never asked, except for by Q, and then everybody else wanted to ignore it.
Look at this, Shady. 4709 through 4712. Julian Assange, Seth Rich, John Brennan, Guccifer 2.0. So Julian Assange, we know who he is, WikiLeaks. Seth Rich, Democrat operative, right? That blew a whistleblower. John Brennan, head of the CIA at that time, or right? Wasn't he the CIA, Shady Whip, right? And then Guccifer 2.0 was Roger Stone. Okay.
Working together, and Seth Rich was the loose lip.
Yeah.
And
so here's a post too, Shady Groove, that's saying FBI changes story, finally admits it has thousands of pages of documents about Seth Rich in 2020. Okay, so he's acting like it was today, but no, it was in 2020 when those documents, when the FBI actually released that, Shady.
That's correct.
Sunlight kills.
Yeah, and Sunlight is actually going to, Sunlight is our friend.
This is from April 30th. This is when I posted this live, Shady Groove. Look at that. Amazing, isn't it? Wow. Say his name, Patriot. And then we've got this page starts talking about Seth Rich. We've got a lot. So go to my In the Matrix with 3 X's on X in the Matrix and just do a search for Seth Rich and you'll find all my posts, Shady Groove, and do the same thing on Shady's. And then do CrowdStrike because they're connected as well. How about we have it all, Shady Groove?
We have it all, and every single day more of it comes out, and it shows that we were right the whole time, literally because we followed along with Donald Trump and his information dissemination process called Q.
What, red folders, Shady?
I know, red folders.
Red folders. Mitch McConnell's brain dead.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't handle it anymore because, look, we have fallen for psychological operations ourselves, okay? But we have to have the fortitude, the intestinal fortitude, Shady Groove, to admit when we get new information and figure it out, we need to correct ourselves. And that's what we do here in the MG Show, Shady Groove. I love how we operate here, and I hope you guys do too. And I hope you find it in your hearts to help support this show. Shady Groove, I think I got one more ad before we go, but I'll let you wrap it up if you want to say something real quick.
Yeah, I'd like to just thank everybody else so much for the support here. And we do need your support, and we do need you to amplify us by sharing the content with other people. This is not complicated stuff to understand. It's not rocket surgery over here at the MG Show. What we're doing is we are simplifying the mayhem. We are reducing the noise, and we are showing you how to specifically follow along with your wonderful president, the golden age, and the future of America, which is whatever it is that you would like to make it for yourself. It's individually connected to you, and we're trying to show you that other people's experiences and other people's lives have nothing to do with yours. And in America, you're free to make it your own. And like he said earlier, I would like for you guys to join me tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time as we dig deep into the true origins of communism. And I'm going to give you a lot of ammunition, so you better show up so that you can share with all of the people that seem to like know more than you. Well, we're going to give you some stuff that'll prove them wrong.
That's right. And real quick, guys, we did get a tip today from our Rumble wallet. We appreciate it because we hear a lot about crypto. But here's the part that most people miss, guys. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your own money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designated as an alternative to banks. So instead of the bank holding your money, delaying transfers or limited access, you are in control. And if you ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you felt that problem. Now, fast forward to today. Everyone has heard of crypto, but getting started feels so darn complicated. And that's exactly why I and this show uses the Rumble wallet. It takes all that complexity out and makes it very, very simple. Choose what you want. Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, digital gold-backed stablecoins by Real Gold. No complicated setup. It connects in just minutes. It connects with MoonPay so you can use your credit card, debit card, and bank and be up and running quickly. Once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators like the MG Show directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download the Rumble wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet and just tap buy and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. Thank you guys very much. Q Lounge Live tonight. Yes, you will be there, Z4FM. Make it happen. God bless you all. 9 p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time. Shady Groove, Q Lounge Live. The proof is in the pudding, Shady.
Let's do it!
Yeah. Yeah. 8 years deep and the fire's still good. Started with a mic and a hope where we stood. Trying to wake the people, trying to tell the truth. Trying to pass the country to the ones coming through, yeah. They said keep it quiet, they said don't say that loud. But the ones on the wall never back down now. Through the censorship, through the smears, through the flood. Still standing right here in the proofs in the blood. Q was never changed, Q was never a code. Q was asking questions till the lies would hold. Think for yourself, see what's true. That was always the mission, that was always the move. The proof is in the pudding. The truth is in the run. 8 years on the wall, and we're still not done. Where we go on, we go all. Through the rise and the fall. If you stay through the silence, then you heard the call. The proof is in the pudding. You can see what it's become. What they tried to bury kept beating like a drum. The proof is in the pudding. He said this ain't a sermon and it ain't TV. It's not what they told you that it had to be. Not the spin, not the script, not the headlines push, but the things they didn't want touch still got pushed. They tried to call it danger, tried to call it hate, tried to say the people here had all lost faith, but the room kept building and the heart stayed warm, and the ones they mocked kept riding through the storm. No, what made you stay? No, what made you see? You looked into the question and it set you free. Think for yourself, hold the line, truth for freedom every time. The proof is in the pudding. The truth is in the run. 8 years on the wall, and we're still not done. When we go on, we go all through the rise and the fall. If you stay through the silence, then you heard the call. The proof is in the pudding. You can see what it's become. What they tried to bury kept beating like a drum. The proof is in the pudding. The ones you were waiting for were standing in the mirror. The daylight moment hit, and the whole thing got clearer. Not follow me blindly, not bow to a name, but learn how to see and never think the same. On the wall, through it all, say the things they don't want said at all. Just stand up proud, say it plain. Truth is worth a little pressure and pain. The proof is in the pudding. Oh yeah, the truth is in the run. Oh, 8 years on the wall, and we're still not done. Still not done. Where we go on, we go all through the rise and the fall, and the ones that stayed the course still standing tall. The proof is in the pudding. Now the picture's coming through. All those old questions pointing straight at truth. The proof is in the pudding. 8 years later, still here, still out, still truth for freedom. Proof is in the pudding.
Q Lounge Live tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern on this channel. God bless you all. See you tomorrow.